Things are happening very, very quickly in the crypto market. What we're starting to see are, again, a lot of these sub cycles where different asset classes are taking off at different times, but it's happening so fast. And what that usually means is that we are about to enter a major boom in the crypto market. This could be the moment where we are entering up only season, this exciting time that we've been waiting for. Now, I will say that this next week is a major hurdle for us, and we're going to talk about just a few reasons why that is. And I do want to talk about just a couple other things going on in Cardano as well. So if you guys are new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, hit that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So ADA continues to sit at the top of this big bull flag that it's been playing into. And we're in great shape. We had a very nice day. I'm not going to say yesterday was a great day because it was red, but a very good job holding these price levels. We're kind of chopping around that, 71 to 74 cent level. It's a great spot to be. BTC just continuing to show strength around this 94K range. We could not have entered the weekend in a better spot. And I have to say these last 2 weeks have been pretty dialed in as far as my projections go, what we might see. And this video from earlier this week, we actually played into this perfectly, talking about price levels, talking about structures. I mean, we to perfection played out this week. It couldn't have happened any better. Luckily, we didn't get any major surprises. So the market loved it this week. Yesterday, another nice day across the space, about $100 billion in daily trading volume. That's the kind of volume we want to see heading into the weekend. But what I will say is that, this weekend has the chance to be kind of blah once again. As long as volume drops to its normal levels, we could just see kind of sideways trading. But if you guys haven't noticed, and if you've looked around the space, you might see a very distinct trend here. So when we look at the early part of the week, what we saw was US-based crypto start to go on run. XRP, ADA, XLM, Algo, HBAR, right? They kind of led the way. Then what we started to see was AI coins begin to take off. Okay, you saw Fetch, you saw a lot of these smaller coins begin to take off. Tau, BitTensor, right? A few others, AI-driven assets went on nice runs. Then what we started to see over the last day or two here was meme coins. Meme coins began to take off. And if you guys remember, what we were starting to see in early 2024 was exactly this exact process of different asset classes going on runs. At that time, it would last about, 3, 4, 5 days or so, kind of a little under a week long. And then they started to happen faster. Then we got our major boom in the crypto market. What we're starting to see now is these different asset classes go on runs over the period of just a day or two. Okay. And what that might mean is we're on the verge of a big breakout across the crypto space because we're seeing a lot of green. We're seeing a lot of resilience from holders, and that's exactly what we want to see. But I will say that next week is going to be a big week for crypto. And the reason why is we have a lot of things going on. First of all, 30th, we have our PC report. Another piece of macro data, very important. Markets reacted to it before. So we'll see what kind of data we do end up getting. And hopefully it's in line with what we've been seeing. We know inflation has been coming down in a big way. And actually, I should have looked at, I occasionally get off track here. But when we look at the true inflation data, we're still sticking down around that 1.3 to 1.5% inflation. So that's all looking very good. But a big indicator that I think a lot of people are sleeping on that's also going to be taking place on the 30th is the Q1 GDP report. And we do not want to see a bad GDP report. If this comes back negative, I definitely have questions. We do not want to see a declining quarter of GDP. Even if this is slowing, that's fine. As long as growth is taking place, it shows that the economy is quote unquote in a good spot, and there will still be a lot of confidence in the crypto market. And then lastly, what we have coming at the very end of the week is the jobs report. So we have all this stuff just crammed into 1 week. And then we know we get the peace day resistance the following week in the FOMC meeting. All right. So we have all this stuff taking place in a very short period of time. And it's possible that now that we've been on this nice run and confidence is starting to re-enter the market, we could get boom, 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 piece of data that just continues to pump the market to some breakout levels. We know, again, ADA fighting its trend here. You could see ADA break up to about, 78 cents, maybe about 80 cents or so, something to watch. If we do get good news into the next week, BTC potential run all the way up to about 98K or so. I mean, that's all within the realm of reality. All right. Understand that when we're looking at ADA and other assets throughout the space, we're again still, I know I've talked about it a bunch, but we're still playing into this Wyckoff accumulation model. We're in this LPS phase right now, and there is chop in that phase. Guys, this could literally take a week. All right. There's no set time frame for how long this has to last. But, I do have to say it's pretty impressive that this has been following this to perfection. Now, just a couple things going on with Cardano. We know that Charles Hoskinson did talk about ongoing partnerships discussions with Ripple during his AMA this week. And he said that that's, still being discussed. There's still good things going on. He did reference Chainlink, and he said Chainlink is a little bit harder to get going. All right. It's kind of one of those conversations where, you and a buddy are like, oh yeah, we should get together. Right. And then it just kind of gets kicked down the roads. No plans are actually being made. Do I expect that to change over time? Yeah, I do. I think the more pressing partnership is obviously with Ripple as of late. And we obviously know why RLUSD would be a big deal to get within the Cardano ecosystem. It's something that, again, can help promote more liquidity. You could obviously bridge liquidity between XRP Ledger and Cardano. That's a very big deal, guys. Understand that it's still going to take time for something like that to get deployed, but they have very similar visions of how to attack the crypto industry for the future, to take it head on, right? Now, I did have a question about this as well from a viewer, and it has to do with Milkomeda. So they're actually going to be shutting down operations, and you need to withdraw your assets by September 1st. So for those that weren't familiar with this, just make sure you do this. And the reason why is that Milkomeda doesn't necessarily fit the future of Cardano. And I'm going to do a video later on, maybe today or tomorrow, about this, because there was something that was mentioned in this description by Milkomeda that I think is worth discussing. And what they said was the Nomad partnership was kind of the main reason why they were having some issues. But this right here is a big one to discuss. It said many projects, VCs, etc., would shut us down the moment that they heard Cardano. They declined before even opening our deck. That frustration wasn't aimed at Milkomeda. It was a blanket resistance to anything Cardano. And I think that's a pretty accurate representation of what we're dealing with, because, so VCs and entities like that, I'm trying to think of the best way to put this. VCs and entities like that have been shut out of Cardano. All right. Because Cardano does not have some of those early, people like Ton or Sui or, Solana or whatever that have helped driven price up. They were shut out. So they're very resistant to, getting into something at this point to help promote the Cardano ecosystem. They feel like they've essentially been shunned, right? And that is one of the reasons why Cardano has kind of been pushed to the back burner for a lot of the industry. But it's also the same reason why, when it starts running, when big things are taking place, you have people that are going to chase in a big way. Hopefully that makes sense for people. And I kind of, again, got off track a little bit. Maybe you should have hit that a little bit better, but hopefully that is starting to resonate with people. We're very much taking the path less traveled. It would have been very easy to have VCs and to do it that way, but you need to do it the right way, especially when we talk about longevity, when we talk about having something that is sustainable, that doesn't have these exploits. It's a reason why Cardano has been able to take this long road to get to where it's at. You really think VCs would have been okay waiting all these years to even see smart contract deployment within Cardano? And the answer is no. All right. So just something I wanted to bring to your guys' attention, but got a little bit off track, but I appreciate you guys as always. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below. Where do you think we're headed as the week goes on? Will we get data to support this exciting time that we're in right now? But have a great day. Show your love. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.